Halloween night had descended upon the small, quiet town of Ravenscroft, and a group of 6 adventurous teenagers, which I was part of, had gathered at the local graveyard, drawn by the promise of ghostly thrills and chilling tales. Our faces were painted with ghoulish makeup, and our costumes ranged from vampires to zombies. Fitting for a night like this, leading the group was Mark, my boyfriend, a bold and reckless young man known for his daredevil stunts. I followed closely behind, my fingers tightly intertwined with his. As we ventured deeper into the graveyard, the wind whispered secrets through the gnarled branches of the ancient trees, and the tombstones seemed to leer at us with silent malevolence. The night was ripe with the promise of the supernatural, and our nervous laughter only added to the tension in the air. Among the tombstones, hidden by shadows, lurked an ominous figure, an elderly man named Ezekiel. For years, Ezekiel had served as the gardener for the town's historic church, tending to the cemetery with a fervor that some found unsettling. He had developed a reputation as a recluse, and rumors of his eccentric behavior circulated through the town. As we moved deeper into the cemetery, Mark dared our friends to venture closer to the church. The imposing Gothic structure loomed like a sentinel, its steeple reaching for the heavens. The churchyard was said to be haunted, and the townsfolk spoke of eerie sightings and unsettling occurrences. We hesitated, but Mark's bravado pushed us forward. We approached the church just as a chilling breeze swept through the graveyard, extinguishing the candles we had brought with us. As darkness enveloped us, a sense of foreboding settled over our group. The night was too quiet, too still. Suddenly, a rustling sound emerged from the shadows. Twigs snapped underfoot, and Mark's bravado wavered. Ezekiel emerged from the darkness, his stooped figure shrouded in tattered clothing, and his gnarled hands clutching a rusted pair of shears. His wild eyes darted around, and his lips curled into a sinister grin as he approached us. The terrified teens. "What are you doing here, children?" Ezekiel's voice was a harsh, gravelly whisper that sent shivers down our spines. Mark, ever the fearless leader, stepped forward with a cocky grin. "We're just here for some Halloween fun, old man. Nothing to worry about." Ezekiel's grin widened, revealing a set of crooked and yellowed teeth. "Halloween fun, you say? Well then, perhaps you'd like to join me in my garden." With that, Ezekiel turned and retreated into the churchyard. We exchanged nervous glances, unsure of what to do. Mark, ever the daredevil, took a step forward. "Come on, guys. Let's see what this crazy old man's got." Reluctantly, we followed Ezekiel through the churchyard, guided by the dim light of the moon. We soon came upon a small, overgrown garden nestled against the side of the church. The air was heavy with the scent of decaying flowers, and the tangled vines seemed to writhe in the moonlight. Ezekiel began to mutter incoherently as he moved among the graves, tending to the twisted plants with his rusted shears. His movements were erratic, and his presence grew more unsettling with each passing moment. As we watched in growing unease, my foot suddenly snagged on something hidden beneath the overgrown foliage. With a scream of terror, I tumbled forward, my leg caught in an old bear trap hidden amongst the weeds. Panic erupted among the group as they rushed to free me from the rusty jaws of the trap. My screams of pain pierced the night, and Mark frantically searched for a way to release the contraption. Ezekiel, seemingly unfazed by the chaos, continued muttering to himself, a wicked grin playing on his lips. It was then that Mark noticed a large, ancient tractor parked nearby, its engine idling ominously. Desperation gripped Mark as he finally managed to release me from the bear trap. But before we could react, the unthinkable happened. The tractor roared to life, its headlights piercing the darkness, and it surged forward, causing us to scatter in fear. The cemetery transformed into a nightmarish battleground as we desperately tried to evade the relentless pursuit of Ezekiel and his deadly machine. The engine of the tractor roared like a beast, its mechanical fury tearing through the ancient tombstones, leaving destruction in its wake. In the chaos that followed, We managed to escape the relentless pursuit of Ezekiel and his deadly machine, with no one harmed. We stumbled out of the graveyard, breathless and traumatized. Our Halloween nightmarishly transformed into a harrowing experience we would never forget. As we sought help from the townsfolk, our tales of the crazed gardener and his rampage were met with disbelief and horror. But as the sun rose on the horrifying aftermath of that Halloween night, the town of Ravenscroft would never be the same. Ezekiel, the gardener of the church, was never seen again, and his gruesome legacy lived on in the chilling stories told by those who had survived that fateful night. The cemetery, forever scarred by the rampage of the tractor, became a place of dread and despair, a haunting reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of our peaceful town.